Hello there, fellow hotel managers. Rodamont here. Thank you for tuning in to Hotel Galactic, Episode 5, Building Up and Trying to Farm. Alright, in order to keep them happy, the Taravi just care about the Russell's pasta. So I have 21 Russell's pasta, so I don't really need to worry about that. So alternatively, what we can do is try to keep the Pingtons happy. And the Pingtons want skyberries, willow grapes, scald mint leaves, or dragon fruit. So if any of those ingredients are being offered, I can buy them. And then create another menu item. Based upon that, which unfortunately is not being offered. The other issue is like the cost. As I refresh, I'm gonna like not have the materials for it. Here's some skyberries at 126 and willow grapes at 138. So yeah, let's bankrupt ourselves. They also had Russell's pasta, but I can't afford it, so that's a little moot. But good, that at least keeps that. And now we should have some checkouts here in a second, which is going to allow us to, you know, make some money back. So maybe I will be able to buy those Russell's pasta in a minute. Ooh, clean up, please. And as these guys check out, I will get the blue goo required for the taxi pad research. And green goo, too, as well. Because the Taravis and the Pingtons will generate that stuff. There we go. Some blue. And that should be enough to start researching the taxi pad. Or towards the taxi pad. So get spick and span next. Pretty good ratings. Not all the ratings. It's like hygiene's not being met, and that's a result of not having bathrooms for showers. But at least our recent ratings is like a 4.8. That's pretty good. Flip the beds. I didn't realize that I'll be checking that at once. So as you can see, our goo storage basically topped up to max. Ah, shoot. Come back, merchant. We'll have to wait another 8 hours. So we did manage to buy the berries, but not the pasta that I wanted, because they took off right as I was about to do it. It's fine. So if we're going to have Taravis, I want to, after getting the spick and span research, I'm going to pivot and get the bathroom research, so we'll queue that up. And then we'll go back and work on unlocking tip jar, but I don't have enough blue goo for that. Taking a look at our resources, wood is basically none. So chop. Chop. Chop, and then stone was basically none as well, I think. 11, so we'll do 1. How about fibers? How many cloth do we have? We've got 10 cloth, that's not bad. 38 fibers, that's not terrible, and 6 rope. So we're good with the loom for now. And we're just prepping the hotel to get ready for new guests that come tonight. Which also means cleaning up the food litter in our dining room. Amateur construction or constructor would increase the build size, increase the overhang, and increase the amount of concurrent construction increases, and that costs green goo or arcades, which allows us to satisfy some fun. I think in this case, actually, I'm going to research Science Machine, Because Science Machine leads to increased goo storage, which I think is going to be more important for progress. So there we go. We have 3 research projects queued up. We've got Spick and Span, Bathrooms, and Science Machine. Spick and Span just got research. That'll increases their movement speed when they're headed for cleaning or maintenance or repair. Did I check if the rooms need cleaning? I'm checking now. They don't. Alright, the bentos are all queued up. The sheets are drying and being laundered. And bathrooms is getting queued up. So once bathrooms is queued up, we'll make some showers so the Taravis that visit can satisfy their hygiene needs. Pingtons don't have a hygiene need. And then we will need to cut down trees because we are out of wood. Looks pretty clean. I might want some more sheets, actually, now that I'm staring at how many sheets we have spare. So let's do 5 more sheets. And then we'll make cloth to replace the used cloth. Because you don't really want to run out of sheets where you can't, like, dress the beds. That'd be bad. Tuck-Yuck, I'm going to have you go back into your uniform and then have the new hire wear your old uniform, because the new hire has a lower housekeeping rating, so they might as well have the uniform for boosting housekeeping, because they're also a housekeeper, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Eventually you'll be able to, like, make uniforms, but Bavaria's going to wear the new uniform. So now you have a housekeeping for 6. That's pretty good. Alright, perfect. The bathrooms got researched. So we have restrooms and bathrooms, and they're different. Bathrooms are for shower and bathe. So build that there on the 3rd floor. And the other thing that I can start to do is if I have Taravis, I can put them on the 3rd floor preferentially because that's where the bathrooms go. It's not super important. All they have to do is take an elevator ride, but, like, you know. And for these, we need stone blocks, which we do not have. And stone blocks require a blade cutter. So that's another piece of research that we would need to get. It's possible I'll be able to buy some stone blocks off of the merchant ship, so at least I can build my first shower without it. So we'll try to shop for that, because we have a little bit of coin. Nope. Not being offered. Let's try again. I'm only gonna refresh like 2 or 3 times and then call it good. They have super discounted cloth, but now that I can make cloth, it's not all that important. And Force, thanks for gifting out a sub. Nope. Okay. They didn't have what we're looking for. A lot of our research requires blue. So that means I'm going to be checking in Pingtons over Taravis. But I'll have 2 Taravis checked in and the rest Pingtons. So the bathroom's built, but it doesn't actually have the stall yet. So I'll queue one up, but without the stone, it's kind of moot. So in order to get the stone, we would need to research blade processor to be able to make stone blocks. So that's going to be the next important one to get. And then I have a bunch of green left over, even after getting science machines, so maybe we'll get amateur constructor. Just to be able to spend it, because I'm about to make more from the Taravi stay that we have. So even though the Taravis have a hygiene need, yes, I'm not going to be able to satisfy it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I still won't get some green research off of them anyway. So knowing that I really want that stone, I'll try to shop for it, but I just don't see it being offered right now, because I think having never made stone, I'm not gonna have the opportunity to buy it. I need to like make it for the first time to unlock it. So instead, let's just buy skyberries, bankrupt ourselves, and call it good for now. Alright, they sat on the bench for the first time. This feels right. Your hospitality is well felt. With care like this, your lodge may soon be the brightest in the Trinity array. And seeing how attentive you are, I wonder if you might want to make it even better for our kin. Every species brings its own rhythms, subtle joys, small aversions. Let me share a few comforts and blueprints, shaped by our quiet lives. You see, Taravi, peace is our shelter, and scathing and scratching, necessary. So they want a scratching post, in other words. You see these new alien species flocking to our hotel? Pretty amazing. But most folks out there still have no idea we even exist. Ever notice the old piping system there? It's used to keep us connected to the rest of the world. At least that's what Pops used to say. If we can wake it back up, maybe we'll hear from corners of the galaxy far beyond the Trinity Array. Gustav got all weird when I mentioned that. Said, not all voices are worth hearing, or something. I don't know, maybe it's just him being cryptic again? Anyway, let's start researching how the system works. Might help us fix it without, blowing a hole in the ceiling. Done with all that. So we also have a goal of researching the post system. So the post system is just below taxi pad. So we need to get tip jar, taxi pad, post system. And then the blueprints the Taravi gave us were... So we have the research station, were the Taravi's Harmony Shrine, which requires wooden beams, and the Darret Incense, which requires an advanced crafting station. So I can't do either of those. The wooden beam is something that we would get off of the... once we get the blade processor, we get planks. And then once we get that, we get the furnace. And then once we get that, we get carpenter's prowess to make wooden beams. So it's going to be a while. Oh, come on. Clean up after yourself. Well, I guess that's my job. And wasn't there a scratching post too? Yes. Let's queue up 2 scratching posts for them. Good call. So I need 10 more blue goo. Hopefully I get through meal satisfaction. 10 more blue goo in order to get the blade processor. And as the pingtons get fed, they should be satisfied giving blue goo, I hope. Plus, I selectively picked ones with shorter stays. So shorter stays are less rewarding, but you get quicker rewards. So we should get some blue goo here soon from admitting all the pingtons. I forget. Where do we get bags? Because having... Oh, that's in advanced tools. Because having sacks will be very, very helpful. Increasing the storage capacity of all of our employees. Alright, amateur constructors just got researched. A little reminder that allows us a little bit more flexibility with build overhangs. So build overhangs, by default, you can have an overhang of up to 3. So like I could do a guest room here, as that is an overhang of 3, and then the one that we just unlocked allows for 4. So if I wanted more rooms, you know what? Hell with it. Let's do it. Go for room number 7 and 8. We do have dining for 8, so, you know, might as well. Meaning, wicker beds. No, not wicker beds. Wrong bed. So let's get... I'm removing the shower from the queue because we can't make the stone blocks, so we'll start making the scratching posts. And then we'll do 2 guest beds. Two chairs. 2 rugs. And it looks like I'm going to be out of cloth, so... make a whole bunch of cloth as well. How much, okay, we still have a decent amount of Russell's pasta. Alright, back scratching posts. There's one. And this is like a fun engagement item for the Taravis. Well, it's almost morning. It will be almost checkout for a lot of the guests that are on a 1 stay. So we have a 1 stay, 1 stay, 1 stay, 1 stay. So 4 of them, 4 of 6. And then we have the new rooms coming up as well, which will increase our throughput once we get the cloth crafted for the furniture required. Oh, there we go, blue goo. Awesome. So this blue goo will do... blade processor. Yes, let's get that immediately. And that allows us to make the stone that we need for the showers stalls. Sparn. Where are you? So tab allows you to tab through your employees. So if I'm looking for Sparn, I can just hit tab and find it. He's already heading to it. Okay, 4 to check out. Time for the windfall of science. All right, research. We wanted to get tip jar, and then we need one of the Taravis to check out for the taxi pad. So this Taravi should give us the green for the taxi pad, and then we'll be able to get that too. No, not quite. We're missing 5. Well, we do have another Taravi in the hotel right now, and once they check out, that will be enough. And then the rooms they checked out of don't have any filth. I don't know why there's... No, there's some filth here. Just happened to be right underneath the rug. But I found it. Now we have a little bit more money. It'd be good to get some more Russell's pasta. We're down to 14. We have 35 skyberries. That's plenty. It's possible that feeding the Taravi guest that we have will net us the green goo that we need. And they will be happier once we have the shower. So we're about to get the blade processor research done. And that allows us to cut stone. So let's get this as a high priority so we can make that shower that they want. So after we make the blade processor, the next thing will be queued up will be the gold star shower. And ideally we're going to want like maybe 2 of them. Do we have enough sheets for the changeover? It's not going to be an 8-bed changeover. It's going to be a 4 because only 4 checked out. But we do have 9 spare sheets, so the answer either way is yes. Because I did just make a whole bunch of sheets. How's our resources? Wood is bad. It does not surprise me, so... some more trees to cut down. And there's our blade processor. I'm going to unpack that and put it right here. Hank, thank you for the resub. Need a bigger crafting room? Yeah, we'll get one eventually. I'm trying to hold out. We don't need one right now, which is why I'm waiting. So these rooms are ready. Good. Both the Taravi and the Pington are still here. And here's the blade processor. All right. So let's first queue up the 5 stone blocks required for the first shower, and then we'll start queuing up we'll fill the queue up with stone blocks for the next one. And that also means we're going to need to mine, because I'll be out of stone in a minute. So we'll get the stone blocks from those two. Can you expand underground? Once you get mining research, which is much, much, much later. So I'm not going to go into the details of that. But yeah, eventually you get the tech to do stuff like that. If you look at the... little spoilers, but if you look at the build, you have a change room, and then you have a mine. Okay, we have a lot of stuff to haul. Good news. I think all the stone blocks required have been made. So we should be making that shower, which will keep the Taravi happy, because this Taravi guest can't satisfy hygiene needs until we have that first shower. And the tip jar just got researched. I don't think there's any other research for us to get. Well, technically we could get the more comfortable staff room, which gives us a bunk bed and nightstand. But I'm going to hold off on that because we want the green goo for the taxi pad. So I'm not going to spend it that way right now. And here's the shower. And getting that built is top priority. All right. I am looking for Russell's pasta, ideally. Worst case scenario, if we can't get the pasta, for reference, Pingtons and Taravis. God, where are they? Here's the Pington. So they're happy to eat skyberries, which we have a lot of, so I don't really need to shop for them because we have a lot of skyberries. So even like a cut skyberry soup or something is something we could make. Where's the Taravi, though? Guests. Where are they? They must be, like, walking around in nature or something. But Taravi is, like, the Russell's pasta. God, if I could find them. Well, here's new guests being... Oh, yeah, here you are. So they're like pasta, tentacles, jelly, or dragon fruit. So any of those offerings will be fine. Also, they're starting to sell stone blocks as well, as you might have noticed, having cut my first stone. So here's rabbit foot jelly, so we'll buy that. And I'll create a dish for Taravi that uses the rabbit jelly once it's unpacked. So for now, I'm just going to do a lot of stays of one, so that I can get, like, quick bang for my buck. Oh, well, I guess we get to check in everyone. Awesome. It's a full house. All right. Refreshing the raffle. And then once we have that unpacked, I'll create a new Taravi-based meal out of the rabbit fly jelly. Oh boy. I think Macklo's gonna be a little busy. So we have the green goo in order to get the taxi pad. Now we just need the blue stuff. Did we unpack it? Yes. All right. So add recipe. We'll take dragonfly jelly, chop it up, boil it, plate it, and this is going to be called the Barton Jello. And that is specifically geared towards Taravis. So let's do something specifically geared towards Pingtons. So we'll add this to the menu. We'll always add the we'll keep the Dom chopped peaches. We're going to delete the Scorpio pasta eventually once the current orders for it are done. So here is the ping tin, where we take skyberries and make a Jonah berry stew. And that will be added to the menu as soon as I'm able. Right now, we have only up to 3 kitchen items. It's unlocked in research. So eventually, Scorpio pasta is going to be phased out, so we rely less on Russells. Sourcing, it's been a bit difficult, and we only have a little bit of it left. Also, we researched tip jar. So there's a tip jar here on the counter, and when people go to check out, they'll add money to the tip jar, and then we have to physically empty the tip jar in order to get whatever tips were left for us. Awarded for good service. Nice. We have a second shower. On the blade processor, I'm going to make a whole bunch of planks, because I'm sure I'll use them. And Makla's like, oh my god, guys, you're ordering everything. Yeah, they're a bit backed up. Look at all these to be hauled. So much. Not my problem, though. Well, I guess I'm the manager. I guess it is my problem. Now, if you want to chop... essentially, the complexity of the recipe... And I'll just create a dummy recipe as a result. The complexity of the recipe adds to its like price cost. So if you want like to satisfy food meals quickly, you can always go like skip phases and just like plate raw ingredients. But if you want to make money, the more processing the better. So in this case, I have like a gentle balance of like simple quick meals. Eventually we'll be able to like have multiple chefs and increase throughput. But that's obviously not the case where we are right now, so we have to keep it simple. So Scorpio pasta is off the menu, and the berry stew is on the menu. So very, very, very simple meals here. Okay, I think I can research taxi pad now. Yep. And then after that, we'll get the post system. Cheers. I need more cloth. And then if we're running low on fiber, I'll need to cut more stargrass. Which is tricky to do because Maklo's the only one with the scythe. I could have someone else equip the scythe, but I don't think it's going to be an issue for much longer because eventually we'll get advanced tools and be able to make our own scythes pretty soon. Ooh, meteorites. And we haven't the means to process ore yet, but amassing it for when we have a smelter is going to be smart, because smelting is not, I mean, it's one of the next things we'd get, the furnace, to be able to make iron ore, you know, and gold bars and our own glass. The other thing is this radio... I'm going to move this radio. I'm going to move it, like, here in the elevator. Because I'm not... It's probably... Interaction spots are blocked by the two new tables I put in, and I just realized that, so I'm going to put it here where we're not going to block the interaction spots. Boom. I just hope our guests know how to dodge. Ooh, a space wreck. Nice. Well, not for whoever got wrecked, but nice for me. Alright, checkout time. Time to make money. And science. I hope. We have a lot of people checking out. So, one of the Travis is staying, and one of the Pingtons is staying, but basically the other 6 are checking out, and this will be a windfall. Ooh, 5-star! Another full 5-star. Oh my god. Another full 5-star. You had a little bit less fun. I'll take it though. Another full 5-star. Our average ratings are quite high. And an almost a 5-star. Well, it's a 5-star rating, just apparently it was less restful than they desired. Alright, flip bedtime. And then, needless to say, we're going to have the resources. No, we still can't get the postal system. We need a little bit more green goo. So, post system is only green goo. So with that in mind, let's spend the blue goo on something. Iron rations, maybe? Yeah. Not super important, but I didn't want to spend the green goo that we need to bank. Now we are about to research TaxiPad, which gets a way out research done. So over here, we can now repair our TaxiPad. And I'll prioritize that. And that allows us to have our guests leave even when, they'll be able to check out even when Pouncy Paw isn't, you know, around. And then, it also gives us the ability to dismiss them. So if we want to kick them out, we will be able to. Oh my god, so much metal scrapping and iron nuggets from all of those meteorites. Really profiting. So with only 2 guests here, we'll be able to catch up on housework, housekeeping, that kind of stuff. We also have more money, so let's see if we can't buy more Russell's pasta to incorporate it back into our dishes. Talk to Felicia. It would stop moving so much. Hello. Is anyone here? Well, I'll be. And here I was thinking you had vanished for good. Maklo, it's good to see you alive. And not a single wrinkle on that grumpy face of yours. Looks like you're reopening the place? Something like that. But look at you. Ditching the captain's chair for taxi duty? What happened? Lose a bet? Ah, yes. Decades at the helm will wear anyone down. These days, I prefer quiet docks and short runs. Smart move. Glad you're sticking around. We could use someone steady. By the launch pad? You didn't show up looking for Gustav, did you? Gustav? Wait, I thought he was dead. Not dead. Complicated. What does that even mean? I thought he died of grief 20 years ago. That's because he... That coward. He vanished without a word, faked his death just to avoid me? Belle, listen to me. He's... such a child. You tell him next time you see him, next time you see his sorry face. I'll help any poor soul trying to leave this hotel, but Gustav, he better not dare say a word. Felicia, no! Wait! She must still think I've been hiding from her all along. Well, ain't she right? You could have shown your ghostly mug the second she walked in, coward. It's not that simple, Maklo. Ah, ain't it always? Every time someone's gutless, it's complicated. You weren't there. You don't know what happened. And whose fault is that, huh? You bottled it up, buried it deep, and prayed no one would come poking around. There are wounds that don't close just because time passes, and some truths hurt more when spoken. I wasn't ready. Maybe I'm still not. But it wasn't out of cruelty. Intent doesn't change the taste when the stew's already burned, old man. Maybe you're right, but that doesn't mean I've any clue how to mend it. She agreed to work with us. That means you'll have more chances to see her. I suppose you're right. I missed seeing her around. She always had a way of lightening up the room. Even now, I felt it through the wall. Maybe it's not too late to set things right. I've yet to let it simmer a while. It's a heavy thing, even for an old ghost like me. But one way or another, I'll have to face her again. So, yeah, this is love portraits, possibly. So we got a reward of a flower table lamp blueprint. And then Maklo wants to talk. So far, we ain't doing half bad, gotta say. But like I said before, we gotta keep pushing. You see that floating island out there? That's Satori Island. Used to be some kind of Derrit monastery up there, tucked right in the mountain. Derrit as Tukyuk and Sparn types. Quick feet, even sharper eyes. And these Derrits were monks. Real quiet, real focused. But they got good at growing things proper. Even my fussy palate gives them that. My point being, if we can drag that island in, we could start farming again. And farming means fresh produce. Without farming, there's no produce. Without produce, there are no dishes. And without dishes, there are no dishes. Sure, we could always buy from Silver, but growing it ourselves, cheaper, smarter, tastes better too. We should ask Pouncy Par next time she's around. If anyone can pull something that big, off that big, it's her. Or someone she knows. Seems like the type. So, talk to Pouncy Pa about the abandoned island. But we still have yet to research the post system. What are we missing for that? We are missing 10 green goo, which we will get when the Tervatis guest checks out. Are we all clean? Nope. Let's check the rooms. Okay, I think we're all clean now. Once we get that litter. Oh, and I forgot to turn this on. Play Happy Beats. Just for like symmetry's sake, let's get another shower. So we'll have 3 toilets, 3 showers. Thank you for tuning in to Hotel Galactic, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. But please keep in mind, I've asked for no spoilers or backseating. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rodamont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rodamont.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow spacefarers.